Well, everybody, welcome to week 3 of Tech Talks. Today, we're going to be talking about using social media to run your business and build a brand and build awareness around what's going on within your business and how you can help your customers and better reach out to them. And we have an expert in the room. David Simons is here from Kingdom Social Media, and he's going to tell us how to get started with that process. And he's going to educate everybody here on the call today. And actually, we have David for 2 weeks. So next Thursday, we're also going to get time with David, and he's going to, you guys are going to leave here with a lot of great value and a lot of education. So, but I want to welcome you. My name is Adam Tidrow. I'm the Chief of Staff and Business Development Officer here at Pathstone Enterprise Center. I work out of the Buffalo office, but as COVID has shifted everything in the world, our team, while we may work in either Rochester or Buffalo, we serve pretty much all of Western New York, and we're excited to have everybody here. I know we have people from all around the state and even outside of the state here today, so welcome everybody. The best way to engage with us as we go through this, and I'll talk about this more in a minute, is to tell us who you are in the chat, in the little chat box down at the bottom. If you are not engaging with it, you're probably seeing it light up a little bit with some orange. Go down there, tell us who you are, and let us get to know you. We'd love to see you and get to know you. I know we have a lot of folks who are return participants, but I do see a few new names on there. So welcome to class. See if I can get my slideshow to work. There we go. So I want to welcome all the small business owners today. Again, I'm Adam Tidrow, and I want to take a second here and introduce my other moderator, my partner in crime here, Anthony Dixon from Spa Capital Management. Anthony, I'm going to let you say hey to the folks and welcome them to Tech Talks. This is your baby, man.
Yeah, everybody, hope you can see me. Thank you again for coming. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. I always get confused if I am being heard. Yeah, thank you again for coming out and being a part of this training and workshops. Again, we are just here to talk a little bit about how to make your day and your process a little bit efficient by interjecting a little technology. Again, my name is Anthony Dixon. I would like to thank our sponsor, M&T Bank. I would like to thank Pathstone for giving me the opportunity to be here. And I also want to thank David Simons for being a presenter. And like always, again, thank you to everyone who's attending, all 23 participants, including myself, for just spending your lunch with us. Anthony Dixon from Spa Capital Management. Spa Capital Management is a holding company that invests in businesses through a partnership model. Again, we started this journey with, again, talking about technology and how to infuse that in your marketing and sales process. Again, marketing is that bullhorn that you use to get people excited about what problem you're solving and how you solve that problem, and how you are the company that will help them to get that necessary solution. We talked about using things like traditional media. We talked about using like YouTube and projecting out your messaging. We talked about sales process and knowing where they are in their sales cycle and being able to use CRMs like client relationship management software like Salesforce or SalesLog to make sure that you're marking and checking where your customers are in their buying cycle and how you have interacted with them to get to that closing part. And last week, we got to talk to Jessica Lewis from La Lou Public Relations about branding. Now that you've built that messaging, how do you now keep your brand top of mind? Through creative logos, through colors, through the name of your business, and even talking about like technologies like Canvas, where you can go in and design these products and services. I mean, these images for your customers to kind of look at. We even talked about different opportunities where you can find other people if you're not that creative person, like Fiverr or Upworks. If you want to use those to find people who can design your website or design your logo. Again, using this to make it easy for people to relate to your business and know what you're going. We also talked about mission statement and that value proposition. What value do you bring to your consumers and how do they understand that? And today it ties into that social media aspect. Now using that opportunity to engage with them on a one-on-one level. You're a small business owner, so it makes it more impactful for you to talk to them because now you can engage directly with them and message with them on this platform. And David Simons is going to be talking about that. So I'm going to introduce David Simons. I don't think it's time to introduce him. Is it, Adam, or we got another slide that we're going to do?
We got a couple more, and then we'll get to David.
Yeah, so I'll introduce him once we come back. But yeah, that's how it ties in. Again, we want to make sure that you are using your time wisely as a business owner, thinking about your business instead of working in your business all the time, that on part, and making sure that you have the tools that you need to make sure that you're having a strong and productive day. I turn it back over to Adam to do the rest of the slides, and then I look forward to seeing y'all again to introduce David.
Cool. Well, Anthony, thank you very much. You guys, Anthony puts a lot of work in for us and make sure that these presentations and these workshops work well for us. I know a lot of you were in boot camp, and Anthony and I were, again, partners in crime on boot camp. So it's nice to have Anthony here as a voice in the room and as an expert. So Anthony, thank you for being here, sir. Thank you for being a valued partner. I want to give a shout out to two other people who, to my team. So Dion Jacques, who is our deputy director for the Buffalo office, she is in the room. And again, Dion runs everything. So Dion, thank you for being in the room. Dion is running the, you'll see her a lot in the chat, and she is also doing the Facebook Live. So she is, she's typing up, there she is right there. And then Jahida Zapata, who is usually with us, typically with us every week for everything. And she does all of our design work, and she does all the slides and all that. This week she is with us in spirit as she is attending a conference herself. So big shout out to Jahida. We were talking up to the very minute before we started this thing. So Jahida's everybody, this is a team effort. So we're all, I just get to talk. That's where I come in. I just get to chat with you guys. So we'll run you through the agenda here real quick. Intro, we're getting ready to start here. And then we'll have a Q&A in the last 10 minutes, Q&A and wrap up when you guys know what we talk about there. We talk about food in the last 10 minutes. So if you guys want to talk about food and how to get free food, stick around to the end and we'll talk about that. But talk about a couple rules of engagement here real quick. First, everything is recorded. So right now we are recording the slides and the videos, and we can see your faces. So if you guys don't want to be on video, please turn your camera off or put something over it because that will go out to, we're going to put it on YouTube. And we were looking at our stats the other day, and we have quite a number of people look at us on YouTube. So also reach out to us through chat, engage with your fellow classmates through chat, use the reaction buttons, tell us how things are going. I am a big fan of the reaction buttons, thumbs up, clapping, the heart, all of that. Also, if you would like to speak, if you're more comfortable speaking than using the chat, please feel free to do so. Just make sure you unmute yourself. And if you can, use a headset. That just kind of cuts down on some of the static and background noise, so that helps. And if you're not speaking, please use that mute feature. It keeps the background noise to a minimum, and it allows the presenters and myself to hear more clearly and know that we know that everybody else is hearing us clearly. So yeah, again, we want you to engage with us. So whatever means necessary, please engage with us. We love to hear from you. That's why we're here. And just a little bit about Pathstone before we get started. We are a nonprofit community development financial institution, or CDFI. We work with small businesses to provide them loans and technical assistance in financially underserved communities. So we do loans for startups starting at like $5,000, and we can go all the way up to $250,000 for you existing businesses. And like I say, lending is pretty much a commodity. It doesn't change from place to place too much. We do have different standards, so we can work with you if you have credit issues or if you're a brand new business. We're a little easier to get a loan from. But where we really shine is what we're doing today right here, is our free technical assistance. We have business development education workshops like this. We have these group workshop series in programming. We have one-on-one assistance with industry experts like David and Anthony, who are both available for one-on-one consults. And we also have mentoring and coaching and networking. And again, the easiest way to network with us is to do it in these business development workshop series. Do it in the chat. We're going to give everybody a second here to, we're going to give 3 people in a minute a chance to kind of introduce themselves to the group and say hello. And if you want to learn more about us, check us out on the enterprisecenterinc.org or our new website, which we need to get on this slide. And we'll make sure we have this on the slide next week. Our brand new website, which just launched, bizupbuffalo.org. For those of you in Buffalo, you can check us out and see all of our technical assistance offerings. Even in Rochester, you can see what we're doing. And since everything's virtual now, we have a lot more flexibility in terms of geography. Also follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. And to our Facebook Live participants today, I want to say hello. We are live on Facebook. All of these workshops are streamed live on Facebook. And keep in mind that this week and next week, we are on Thursdays, and we'll be working with David going over social media. And so you have David again next Thursday, and then the final two installments of the Tech Talk series are Wednesdays, September 30th and October 7th. And we'll be talking about website design and content management with Mike Warren from View Signage. And then the next level virtual workshop series has started this week, and week 2 comes in just a few days on Monday. So if you guys want to sign up for that, if you are a boot camp graduate, or if you have been in business for at least a year, please sign up with us and join us for the next level virtual workshop series. That's a 12-part series. It'll take you up through really through Thanksgiving, and we'll be talking about how to grow as a business owner, how to think like a business owner, and how to make decisions like a business owner, and really getting in that mindset. So again, if you guys want to sign up for any of that, please go ahead and do that. We have our small business forums starting again in October 2nd. I know there's somebody on here who just talked about, I think Gary wanted to open a nonprofit. So we will be talking about everything nonprofit on October 2nd at 11 a.m. We'll be going for an hour. We'll have a panel of nonprofit experts there to talk you through why you should start a nonprofit, what you shouldn't do if you want to start a nonprofit, the legal side of it, the board of directors side, the funding side, all of that fun stuff. We will have experts in the room to discuss that with you. And now, because we do this with you guys and for you guys, and we want to interact with you, I want to give 3 people a chance to say hello and tell us who they are, what their business is, and then provide a summary to what their business does and what they're hoping to learn from this class. So Dion, I don't know if you're available to do that.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I still know how the Facebook Live works, but if you want to call in 3 people, and I'd love to hear from them.
Great. Thank you, Adam. I love doing this. Let's see. A name I haven't seen before. Allison Muller. Is it Muller? Mueller? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
It's Mueller.
Mueller. Hi, Allison. Welcome. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yes, my name's Allison Mueller, and the name of my company is Mueller Asset Strategies. And I spent probably 30 years in corporate America saving money for large companies, and decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And so what I do now is help people figure out what their retirement income gap is. And what that means is that if they're planning for their retirement, even if they're 30 years old, figuring out how do they get there and the best ways to do that. So that's what I do.
Great, that's fantastic. Allison, if you wouldn't mind, please put your information in the chat for us.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Since we picked a girl, let's go with a boy now. A name I haven't seen before. I think I've seen Jason before, but I don't remember. Jason, if you are able to unmute yourself and would like to share a little bit about who you are and about your business, please do so.
Sure, thanks. My name is Jason Hewitt. I run Pupman Golf, and I do rental packages for miniature golf holes and carnival games for parties or businesses. Just been going for a few months now, and I have social media, and you know, I'm kind of a novice, so I'm hoping that I can just kind of take something away from this to help grow my engagement as I keep growing here over the season.
Great, fantastic. Have a fun season. Maxine Scott, would you like to unmute yourself and share a little bit with us today?
Not a good topic. I'm in a nonprofit. So I'm looking to enhance my business by learning a little more.
Great. Well, you've come to the right place, and be sure to sign up for our Small Business Forum on nonprofits for October 2nd. We'll be sending that registration information out. Good to hear from you. Thanks for sharing. Adam, can I just call on one last person?
Oh, I guess. Yes.
Paula Thompson. If you're okay with unmuting yourself and sharing. Hi, Paula.
Hi. As you know, my name is Paula Thompson. The business name that I have, it's still in the idea stage. It's Expand Existence. My business partner and I will be hosting various self-care events, financial improvement events, and once COVID has been eliminated, I guess, we get to come back out into person. We want to create events where people can come out and step out of their comfort zones. So it's just kind of just to get people, I really don't know how to encompass it, but that's what's going to be the business.
Well, I love the idea, and maybe you can do it for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Maybe you could do events specifically for that demographic. Please, if you've got any information you can share with us, please do that in the chat.
Okay.
We'd like to keep tabs on how your business idea is going, and if you need any help from us, we're here to help you progress.
Definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Thanks to Allison and Paula and I'm sorry, I forgot the gentleman's name. That's terrible. And Maxine for sharing. And have a good class, everyone.
Thank you, Dion. It's always, I wish we could do that all day, just get to know everybody. But if you'd like to speak next time, let us know, put it in the chat, and we will make a note of that, because we want to make sure everybody who wants to speak gets a chance to speak throughout the course here. So if you'd like to speak next time and introduce yourself to the class, we've got 30 people in here, so that's a good opportunity for you to get your name out to 30 people. Speaking of names, I'm going to hand it over to Anthony Dixon, who is going to introduce the king himself, David Simons. So Anthony, it's let's see if I can get my computer to cooperate here.
Adam, we have a request from Katira Poland. I'm so sorry, David, but we'd just like to give her a minute she's asked if she could speak.
Okay. Sure.
This is Katira. I was indicating for the classes in the future that I would like to speak.
Oh, it's okay. Sure, I'll be sure to make a note to call on you next time, Katira. Thank you. And Jason, and I type Jason and then David. Jason, I'm so sorry I forgot your name. Go ahead, Adam.
All right. Anthony, I'm going to kick it over to you, man, and let David come on, and then I know David's going to do a great job. So it's all you, man.
Yeah, thank you again, Dion. Thank you to everyone who spoke. Definitely exciting to hear from y'all. So I'll make this quick because I know you want to get right to social media, which is our topic for today, technology and platforms that we definitely need to understand to engage with our consumers. So in my prior life, I used to work for a CDFI as well. My company is originally, well, we're headquarters in Philadelphia. And during that time, I ran a program called Scale Up by the Small Business Administration to help businesses between 250,000 to 500,000 kind of grow and scale their businesses. One of our participants was definitely David Simons. He had a great aspect for social media, great business model. He helps professionals and personalities get their brand out there. So it was definitely, when I got this project, I knew that I definitely had to bring him on to be a resource for the people and community of Rochester as well as Buffalo. And now that we're virtual, to everyone. So again, thank you again. And I would love to welcome David to start his presentation.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, Jahida. And thank you all for coming today. Truly, truly honored and humbled to be before you. It's gonna, buckle up. We got a lot to go through. Get your seatbelts on. We're going for a little ride here this afternoon. And I'm gonna share my screen with you. There's a lot of information, a lot of good information that we're going to go over. And I'm excited. I hope you're excited. There's opportunity in the midst of obstacles, right? So there's always opportunity, even in the midst of a pandemic. There's a way forward. So we're gonna really go through more information that is going to help you. We're going to go some foundational stuff today, because I know there's all different types of levels here in represented here today. But we're going to go through a bunch of different aspects of digital marketing. That's what and social media marketing. And the plan is to also next week go in a deeper dive. So stay tuned. We're going to gradually build everything that we do go through this whole process. So if you can, just let me know in the chat box if everyone can give me a thumbs up, or let me know if you can see my screen. Everything's good. All right. Excellent. Cool. Typically, I'd love to get to know every single business, just as Adam said, who's in here. But if you can, just put in the chat box just what your business is, what you do, and in your business, what your business is, where you're located, and then also what you're looking to get out of today's presentation. So I'll just be looking through that later down the line, but just want to, if you can, hit me in the chat box. We're going to use a lot of interaction today virtually, so I appreciate you guys engaging with me as much as possible, even though we are limited to the chat interaction. Okay, so just we're going to interact through there. So please. So Barbara, can you see the screen? I see a message that you can't see the screen. Let me know. Make sure that everybody can see, and we're good to go. All right. So yes, great. Okay, so how to run social media marketing campaign in today's world. Emphasis on today's world, right? So that's what we're covering. A little bit about myself. Skipped a little bit. Let me see here. All right. I'm trying to pause it. All right. Hopefully it stays there. All right. So a little bit about me. I'm in social media marketing. I'm a social media enthusiast. Been in this whole space about 12 years. I'm going to skip through a lot of. I got a lot of content, so I'm not going to go too heavy on this. But I've been in the space 12 years. I'm a writer for Social Media Today, a site called Huffington Post. Maybe you're familiar with. All right, so we do some writing, blog write for them, and I've also strategized with a lot of different businesses, both large corporations, Fortune 500, nonprofits, small businesses, churches. And I started off in SEO, so which is search engine optimization. And today we focus really pretty much strictly on digital marketing. So Facebook ads, social media management, all that stuff. I used to work for a company called TerraCycle, the world's leader in upcycling and recycling of traditionally non-recyclable items. I managed over 26 other countries and worked with Fortune 500 partners to manage digital marketing campaigns. And so those are some of the things we did. I've been featured, just recognized for my work. Again, I'm going to rush through these and not going to go too fast, no, to take too long on this, but we work with all different types of aspects, as Anthony said, from the top lefts, top speakers, top chefs, sales coaches, NBA players, NFL players, entrepreneurs, just a variety. We also work with, as I mentioned, different organizations like the government, the Department of Defense, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now I want to make sure we go through the whole landscape, right? So the first thing is the digital marketing landscape as a whole is this full model that you see here, right? So it's not just social media. When people think of social media, they think of this little piece right here, right? They think of this piece as being everything, but social media is a piece inside of digital marketing. So digital marketing, now when someone tells you digital marketing, you want to do digital marketing, that includes content marketing, search engine optimization, data analytics, conversion rate optimization. And obviously I don't have time to go through all those aspects, but those are and paid advertising and email marketing, they all make up what digital marketing is, along with social media. So what is social media? It refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share, and exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. Social media is defined as a group of internet-based applications that build on the ideological and technological foundations of the web. What does all that mean? Essentially, it's a network of communication. And it's a medium, it's a way, it's a platform. So social media is not just tied to one or a few networks. It's a variety of social networks. So again, we're going through a little of the basics, but we're gonna get along our way into each of the platforms. So why is this important? Because this is what we have to understand is that it's the way of communication. I look at social media as just imagine the telephone, right? The telephone was there. Then we went to telephone, TV, radio. Those are all mediums of communication. Social media is a style of communication that we have. So it's really important today, and it's going to be even more important tomorrow. A lot of people, we have generations now that have grown up on social media, believe that or not. They've grown up with it their whole lives. So it's a part of our culture, and we have to acknowledge it. So why use Facebook? So here are a few reasons. One, it has 1.5, actually 2 billion now, and growing. And the other thing is that you'll be able to connect with your target audience and your target market. You're going to establish authority, which we'll explain a little bit as we go along. So don't miss session 2. We go into more of authority there. 4, you're going to increase your online presence and improve your SEO. And then 5 is more trust is given to those with Facebook pages. So these are the reasons why you should have a Facebook page. Some people are like, I don't know if I want to have it. Well, it's not about what you and I want. I've come to realize that this is the truth. If you go fishing, right, and you say, I want to fish, but I don't want to put my pole in the water to catch the fish. That make no logical sense, right? You want fish, but you don't want to put your pole in the water to get the fish. It's the same concept. Social media is where the fish are. You have to know that they are there in this water, and you may not like to go fishing or do the act of putting the pole in the water, but you have to do that because that's where you have to put the bait where the fish are, and the fish are on social media. Okay. So sometimes we have to break that mindset of what we're battling as far as the platform itself. Okay. So what is the purpose of a Facebook page? So the Facebook page can serve multiple purposes. The most common use is to represent businesses or organizations. The other use of it is it should be a foundation on which your business or your organization stands. So this will be something that helps you to carry the business down the line, right? What you're planning to do to grow your Facebook page. Okay, so you got to think about growth. I always think about growth from the very beginning. So here's the other piece. Sorry, there's a little glitch here with it goes back and forth. So bear with us, okay? Sometimes it goes back and forth a little bit with the slide transition. But so here are the reasons to have a Facebook page. You got to increase credibility. You've got to if you want to create an online community, if you want to sell products and services, customer service solutions, and brand awareness. These are all things that will help you, and you need them, quite frankly. Thank you for the kind words, Allison. Got your message there. All right. So this is something we have to think about. Now, what do you need to do to set it up? There's some steps you have to take to set up your profile. The first step is to build a Facebook page, is to go through this process, right? So some of you have, maybe you can type in the chat box. Does everybody have a Facebook business page? You can type in the chat box, yes or no. I do not. I hope everyone does. If you don't, please be honest, because this is actually something you can learn from. Okay, so there's a few yeses, a no, and some yeses. All right, good. So here's the thing: whether you have a page or not, here's the truth. This part is very important. Your setup is. And so some of you, as we're going through the setup, though you've been established, maybe you've had it 3 years, 4 years, you're going to realize, okay, I need to go back and redo some things. Okay, so I thank you, Jaminia, thank you, Ebony, all of you who are sharing. So here, I actually didn't go through these. So these are the classifications: local business or place, artist, band, or public figure, company, organization, or institution, entertainment, brand, or product, cause, or community. So here's the problem. Sometimes people set up, if they're a business that has, like a local presence, they may not set their business up as a local business, and they put in a different classification. And what happens, Facebook has different features for different classifications. So I've seen it where people set up wrong and they don't have the ability to get reviews on their page. Maybe that's somebody here today. They're not able to have clients or customers leave reviews because the classification they chose doesn't have review section on it. So you've got to have the right classification. So this is the process you're going to go through. You're going to select and really think through about what your business is. If you're a business or a brand, you're going to have some other options. Put that there. If you're a nonprofit, definitely there's different benefits for nonprofits. So that's something just to think about and keep aware for your pages, right? The second thing is that you want to set up as you're setting up your profile, you want to use a profile photo that is 180 pixels by 180 pixels. So that's going to be the brand that's going to be seen across the board everywhere you go, okay? With that said, you also are going to have a chance to put your story a little bit. People they don't optimize that part. There's a section where you can literally put your whole story, put about your company, about yourself, whatever you want to put, and put that in place. Now I'm gonna test you guys. This is how I am. I'm a teacher. I didn't mention also I'm an adjunct professor at Temple University. So I have a teacher's heart, and anything I do, I want to make sure people get it. How many of you have this section all the way filled out? Your about section with your story. So the part here on the right, you have stories in there. So I want to type in the chat box. You can put a Y or an N for purposes of time. Y or an N. If you don't have it, yes, no, okay. All right, okay. Thank you for the transparency. Yes, I'm seeing some yeses. I'm seeing some no's. Okay. So this part here is important. All of this is important because Facebook is still also a search engine. Don't forget that it's a search engine too. So people can actually see they search, and they do search for recommendations or search for different types of businesses through the platform. So you want to make sure that you set everything with the keywords. You fill out everything: awards, about, products, milestones, your story. All of these things are important, and they're going to help you to reach people. Okay, so here is something about Twitter, because a lot of people don't realize this, that Twitter has more searches on it than Yahoo and Bing combined. That's crazy, right? It's not even technically, I mean, it's a search engine, but it's not really one of the major search engines you think about. But here's some stats that are pretty interesting. Sorry, I told you there's a little glitch there. Google, did you know that Google processes 100 billion search queries per month? YouTube processes about 3 billion search queries per month. And Twitter processes 2.1 billion search queries daily, every day. So it's not a network you want to ignore. Contrary to popular opinion, and especially for my business people in here, and especially for my business to business people. I'm going to explain that in a moment. Twitter is a social network that is considered a microblog. So it used to be 140 characters, so meaning that you can post messages that are 280 characters. Okay, so Twitter is declining as a whole, right? But it is actually increasing in the business to business and corporate sector. So if you do anything business to business, you sell to other businesses, there's actually an increase on Twitter, but it's a decline in everything else. So that is why I say it's not something to completely ignore. So what are the main components of Twitter? Here are the main components. You're going to have a profile, a bio, a home tab, a notifications tab, a messages tab, a moments tab, and a trending topics is the area most people know Twitter for. Yeah, okay. Let me see here. I'm just gonna make an adjustment here. I'm gonna bear with me, guys, because this thing is shifting a bit. So I'm gonna just go to slideshow and uncheck timings. And yeah, there we go. That should do it. All right. So we shouldn't have any more of that. Okay. Thank you for your patience there. All right. So, voila. Thank you, Adam. Shout out to Adam for that. Twitter profile. With your Twitter profile, you are limited to change a few elements, including your bio, your color scheme, your cover image, and your photos. Okay, so these are the things that you can do in a Twitter profile. So this is the branding, all the branding you can do. As you see here, this is branding that I use, and I'm going to break that down in a moment. So your Twitter bio itself, you have a limit to about 140 characters that you can put in here and talk about who you are and what you do. Okay. Your home tab, this is where you see all the tweets from others that you follow and the people that you connect with. This is all the Twitter comments and things that you get from people, tweets, I should say, tweets that you get. You're going to see these in this section. The notifications tab, you're going to be able to this is a place where you get to see who to tweet or mention. So when somebody messages you, you'll be able to see that here pretty clearly. And if they have a comment that you want to engage with. So this is the notifications tab. Definitely pay attention to this. This is where engagement happens. Messages. So this has kind of become a section where you can message people privately, but a lot of people, as you can see, even in my account, there are a lot of spam kind of messages. A lot of people just spam on Twitter messages. I don't really use Twitter messages, but I do check it just in case. But I want to give a tool here. If you're looking for more engagement as a whole, and I won't have time to show you and walk you through the tool, but it is a great tool for community, and you can use it for free. If you do want more capability than the initial level, you will have to invest for it, but commune.it. I just put it in the chat box for everyone. that is the tool that will help you to manage all your engagement on Twitter, and it will remind you, or okay, hey, you just followed somebody that just followed you that has high influence, or you got new followers. Here's a message to say thank you for them following. It keeps you up to date on following people and connecting with people. Okay. So trending topics. So this is the section that you'll see when you get stories that are happening for the day, stories that are happening real time, trending topics about anything that's going on in the world. So some people like to use the trending topic section to put something in that tailors to it. So I just say, be authentic. If it pertains to something in your business, then utilize it. If it's not relevant, don't go out of your way to do that, right? So you want to make sure that you use it accordingly, use it wisely. So now we're going to transition to LinkedIn. Any questions on Facebook or Twitter, just from a setup perspective? We're going over the basics. I want to, you can put in the chat box and I can get to those. So any questions you have, I just want to make sure I come at each section. You can put them in the chat box and I'll make sure to get to those as we go along. Okay. We're going to go into LinkedIn now. So LinkedIn is the world's largest social network for professionals. Keyword for professionals. Yes, there is an app for Twitter hashtags. It will come to me, Barbara, as we go along, but it's not coming to me right now. But there is an app for that. Right Tag. I just got it. RITETAG. Right Tag, or you can search Right Tag or something like that. It'll pull up. For the hashtags. LinkedIn is the world's largest social network for professionals, but it's also a resource for people looking for jobs, right, and hiring. It's also a searchable database for people, companies, groups, and a lot more. It's also a publishing platform. Now, here's something I want you to know for those, yes, that should be it. Yep, thank you, Dion. So here's something that you should know about LinkedIn that should encourage you to post more content. With the amount of users that they have each month that are active, I think it's over 200 million active, 250 million active users. Right now, here's the interesting thing. Did you know that 2% of the active users actually post? 2% of LinkedIn users post. So that means that the percentage of people that just watch is much higher. So if you change your mindset to be a content producer instead of a content consumer on LinkedIn, you're going to get a lot of reach and a lot of engagement that other people aren't getting, because the majority of LinkedIn users do not post. Why? I don't know, but there's a massive opportunity. So out of all the networks, you're not going to see that kind of trend. Most people post. But LinkedIn, they don't post as much. So you want to tap into LinkedIn's power, post content on a regular basis, at least 2 to 3 times a week, okay? So here's the other thing you should know about LinkedIn is that it's going to help you rank your name on Google. So if you notice, if you put a Google search on your name, and you're actually going to receive a system that we're going to help you. It's going to put a checklist together. We'll be sending that out to you that I put together that gives you a checklist of all the different things you need to do to get your LinkedIn profile right. Okay, so the thing that helps with LinkedIn for ranking is a bunch of keywords and things like that, and those are all included on that document, right? So the average annual salary, this is something to know too, especially for my business people that sell to business, is 60,000. 60,000 is the average salary. Why does that matter? That tells you that's a pretty high level network as far as the ability for purchasing power, right? So the purchasing power is high on LinkedIn compared to all the other social networks. So if your product or service is more costly and it's B2B, or even if you have a B2C, there's still an approach there too. But my point is that is something to note, that it is the LinkedIn audience has a higher purchasing power. Now, also, you got to look at your profile to optimize it for opportunities for not just jobs for the people looking for jobs, but the people looking for and clients, but the people looking for opportunities to grow and press. So something I know I don't have in this presentation that you should think about is called every business should sign up for this. It's free, and well, no, I changed that. It's a feature in the next level up now. It used to be a part of all accounts. It's called LinkedIn Profile, not Profile Finder. LinkedIn Pro Finder. Okay, put that in the chat. So LinkedIn Pro Finder allows you to position your somebody's needs to be muted, so I don't know where it is. If you could all mute yourselves, please. There we go. Still hearing it.
Hey, Louisa, can you mute your microphone, please?
Okay. Cool.
I don't know. It says I did unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'll hit you. I'll hit mute for you. There we go. We're good now. Thank you. All right. So the process with optimizing everything there for LinkedIn Pro Finder is to have yourself put in the category. So I put myself as a social media marketing company, and then LinkedIn shoots me a message. Hey, there's somebody that's looking for social media marketing or leads, right? Social media marketing services. And it kind of sends you leads. You do have to pay for the higher subscription, but that's one of the benefits, right? You can get some quality content, contacts and clients from that. So why should you use LinkedIn? There's a lot of reasons. I'm going to rush through these facts because we got more important information than the facts, but it's going to give you a good, important insight into LinkedIn. So 79% of the B2B marketers view LinkedIn as an effective source for generating leads. B2B stands for business to business. So if you're a business selling to another business, B2C is business to consumer. You're selling to consumers. 92% of B2B marketers leverage LinkedIn over other platforms. So some of them just say, we're going to dial in here and leave everything else. 80% of B2B leads come from LinkedIn. And 94% of those B2B marketers also use LinkedIn to distribute content. And Barbara had a question earlier about should you have one profile? Yes, I would not make multiple profiles for LinkedIn. You should have one profile. And if you have a business page, one business page per business, right? So good question. So here are the things that you're going to need to optimize for your profile. Your picture, your cover photo, your headline, your summary, your experience, your recommendations, your skills and endorsements, education and accomplishments. There's a lot. So most people just edit these 4 right here, maybe 4 or 5. They don't get all of this. And so the sheet you're going to get is going to give you a breakdown of all that. Okay. So when you're putting your profile together, you need to make sure that you have a good quality photo. You can use a camera phone. Camera phones today are way better than some of the most expensive cameras just not too long ago, right? A couple years back. So make sure to smile in those photos that you have, and remember that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So that friendly touch is important. Make sure you're wearing something professional and you have a good background. And you can't be distracting. Okay, so here's the things that you want to avoid. You want to avoid not having a professional photo. You want to avoid not having a professional headline, and you want to avoid not having a summary. A lot of people mess this part up right here. Just these 3 alone will really destroy your. And I'm gonna do a little survey here. How many of you have your LinkedIn profile like this? Be honest. Type in yes if you have your profile like this. I want to see if we have anybody. I'm not trying to throw anybody out, throw anybody under the bus here. I'm just saying this is something okay. No, I'm saying that no. Okay, so I haven't seen any yeses, but be honest because we're going to fix this today. Okay, thank you, Lathanet, for letting me know. We're going to fix this today, right? Okay, good. I appreciate the feedback I'm getting that you guys are putting these in place. So we're going to walk through an exercise, right? Okay, Jaminia, everybody's going to need to set up one. So I'm glad for those that don't have it, you're being put in a position to encourage you to get it today, right? So Here we're going to go through an exercise that, and I'm going to need you guys to be quick on your typing fingers, because we're going to go through an exercise that's going to help us and help you see the importance of those three things that I just talked about. Okay, so right here, I have multiple people, right? And I just want you to, you don't have to give me a reason, but I just want you to put in the chat box for, and this is gonna be person number 1, this is gonna be person number 2, person number 3, person number 4, person number 5, and I want you to type in the chat box if you do business with them. Don't have to tell me a reason, like I said, just say yes or no, okay? So Y or N, Y or N. So person number 1, Alpha, would you do business with her? Y or N? Y or N? Type in the chat box. I need you to be quick on your fingers. Yes. All right. Yes. Okay. All right. Alana, would you do business with Alana? Y or N? Y or N? Do business with Alana. Okay. Say a bunch of yeses. Yes. Maurice, give me a Y or an N. Would you do business with Maurice? Y or N? Give me a Y or an N. Yes. All right. Eric, would you do business with Eric? Y or N? N. A bunch of N's. Okay. Interesting, right? James, would you do business with James? Give me a Y or an N. Okay, we got some N's, some Y's, and a mixture. I'm going to explain why some of you N's feel that way. Bill Gates, would you do business with Bill Gates? A Y or N? that one's a curveball. That was a curveball, right? I'm going to come back to that. Would you do business with Laura? Y or N? Type in the chat box, Y or N. Yes. I saw a few no's too. All right. David, would you do business with David? Y or N? Y or N? Okay. I got some Y's. I got some N's. Be honest. Yes. All right. Good. Randy, would you do business with Randy? Y or N? Okay. A bunch of Y's. Good. Fred, would you do business with Fred? Y or N? Yes. And a few no's, some Y's. Okay, good. So we just went through this process. So for the most part from the survey, right, is most of you said, yes, you do business with Alpha, Alana, Maurice. Mostly everybody said no to Eric, right? Because if you can't see the person, you can't trust the person. So for LinkedIn, if you want to maximize it, you've got to get this profile, right, put in place. This, you guys actually said no. Some of you said no. Some of you knew why you said no, but some of you didn't know. But it's probably because his head's cut off, right? That subtle subconscious thing affects whether you want to do business with him. Bill Gates, typically, if somebody's wearing a hat in a LinkedIn profile, you'd probably not do business with them, right? It's Bill Gates. So I think that was a curveball. Everybody should be willing to, or depending on certain people view certain things that he does not incorrect, but you know what I mean. But the point is, he can get away with doing whatever he wants. He's a billionaire. But the point is, typically, you're not going to do business with somebody that's wearing a hat on LinkedIn. They're not taking it seriously. Laura, some of you said yes. If you're looking at her from an athletic standpoint, and she's a trainer, yeah, that makes sense for her to profile. But if Laura is not a trainer, and I know it's a little cut off here, she is in athletics, then it makes sense. If she's not into sports, then it's not a good idea, because why are you wearing that if you're not into sports, if you're not in that realm, right? David, some of you said yes, some of you said no. Well, the reason you might say no is because it looks like he's in the bathroom of some sort. It looks like a bathroom selfie, right? So it's imperative, the background. Most of you said yes, yes to Randy, and also to Fred. So the outdoors, actually, it's different, right? But the point is, all of us, you're judging whether you're going to work with somebody right off the bat within a few moments of seeing their profile. Just like we did, that's how they're doing it to you. So you've got to ask yourself, would you pass the 3 or 4 or 5 second test of whether they would do business for you just based on seeing your profile? Because that's literally how people will decide. It's a search engine, okay? So going back to the setup, right? You've got to have a LinkedIn profile headline that especially for those who are using LinkedIn for business. You're still working a job and you have a business. I just want to say this because there's always people that are in that process. You're in between of building the business. You're working a job and you're building a business at the same time. Don't market your profile as your business. Just operate. I would just keep integrity to your employer. But if your employer is okay with you marketing your business and you've asked, that's perfectly fine to market your LinkedIn profile for business. But for those that are marketing themselves, their personal brand on LinkedIn for business, then you want to have a headline that talks about the value you provide. You want to make sure your profile headline is customer centric. So helping residential contractors, Karen does, and she helps people that attract architects and homeowners. So what do you see in her background? Her background, if you look closely, is a kitchen, right? So she does, helps. She's speaking to her market with her photo. Okay. So then the next thing you want to make sure is that your photo gives an opportunity to brand itself and stand out. And you can put a call to action there. I'm actually going to hook you up with a good, write that down, fiverr.com/shine911. He does good LinkedIn cover photos, right? So you can get that for $5-10 or, maybe max. Just tell him David sent you and you'll get a LinkedIn profile. And he does Facebook banners as well. So you want a nice Facebook banner, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, right? That's the resource there. So nobody has any excuse. So here is another example, right? So this is Brittany. She's focused on, she's a founder and CEO of Financially Wise Women, certified financial planner for entrepreneurial professional women. And she's able to market to specifically women. And she's highlighting that in her, so whoever wants to work with her will automatically, she's already calling out her market. She's saying, I work with professional women. That's what I do, and entrepreneurial women. So it's already automatic. So that is smart, calling out what your target market is, who you serve. Okay. So here's an example for me, my profile on LinkedIn. I play around a little bit more, right? So I'm typically on the edge on some things. Like, so I have a cartoon for my profile photo. But maybe that might not work for everyone. But for me, I like to play around with things like that. So I've got a cartoon for my profile photo. I've got my cover photo, my moniker name, like the mediapreneur is what I'm known as. And then if you notice in my title, I don't say CEO of Kingdom Social Media, though you can see the link there to my company. I say I help speakers, coaches, and consultants increase revenue through Facebook advertising. So I focus on one of the things that the main services that we provide to help a specific market. So you want to call out who you serve and how you help them, right? I help X to do X through X. You notice that's the formula. I help X to do X through X. Okay. So optimizing your LinkedIn profile, you want to make sure that you have a summary. And for business, it should not be about you. It should be about your potential client. It should read like a sales letter and a story, not a resume. Okay. Your profile also should answer a few questions. What do you do? Why do you do it? Why should I trust you? What can you do for me? Where can I learn more about you and your work? Right. So this is an example, right? What do we do? Blah, 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 blah. Why it matters. All about you. Bottom line. Who are we? Website. Free consultation. Right? From a business standpoint, that's how you want to put things. Any questions on LinkedIn? That is again, a brief overview on the LinkedIn side. Just wanted to give you guys that so you have that. Any questions? Can I please have the slides sent to my email? I think you'll be able to work with the Pastone team to get all of that, but Adam said, yep, he'll make sure that's going to happen. All right. So, okay, Barbara has a question. Let's hear your question. And Jasmine has a question. Okay. So you can either put those, if there's LinkedIn related, you can put those questions in the chat box. I'm also going to do a Q&A at the end, but if you did have a quick LinkedIn question, I can tackle that right now. Okay. So feel free to put those in. I'm going to go on to Instagram. Instagram is a free photo video application platform to share your images to your followers. It also gives them a personal view of you and your business, and it can help you to create a connection to the brand. Okay, so here is what we need to know about Instagram. Instagram has a really high millennial and Gen Z based audience, right? So you can see that if you look there at 25 to 34, there's a large percentage of the users, and they have about 1 billion active users. 14.8% to 16% are 18 to 24. And so this is you need to understand which networks have what markets, right? So your LinkedIn network, your LinkedIn market is going to reach, like we talked about, a professional, probably older demographic. Your Facebook is a catch-all. It's kind of got a mixture of everything. Twitter, it's also got a mixture, but again, what you'll find there, actually, millennials are big on Twitter as well. And up. So this platform is heavily millennial Gen Z focused. So these age groups, 18 to 34. So if your target market is any of these ages, doesn't mean you can't serve and people in all these. I'm just saying the network itself is made up predominantly of that. Okay. So for your Instagram profile, a few things you need to make sure you have set up. Again, some of you might need to just adjust some things. Your personal profile should be use your picture or your logo of you. Concise, keep it concise description to the point. I like to use emojis in mine, so I put little emojis of different things that are about me personally. So I this is for the personal brand. For the personal brand, it's a little different. But I market my market through my personal brand for the business, and you can also have a business brand for your Instagram profile. So here's another thing you can do. You can switch your switch your profile to a business profile, right? It's literally a switch of a button, but you have to have a Facebook page connected to that to make that switch. So you may be wondering what's the benefit? Well, you have a lot of more clickable features. Email, phone, direction, you can put that in there. You have insights, ability to run ads directly from it. And we'll talk about ads in the next section, but this is literally the process. So when you get these slides, you can just go through step by step what you need to do to make the switch. Okay, and make sure you're set to public. Private accounts cannot be on business. Cannot have a business account. So, or it won't work, right? So that is something that you have to think about. So you're setting up your business profile. You want to make sure that, again, it speaks to your target market. It speaks to what you do, how you position. If you're using a personal brand like I am, share a little bit of personal details about you. If you're using the business brand aspect, break down the business component of what the service provides and have a little giveaway or something. So if we go back a step in my link down here, and this has been updated since this is an old picture of my profile, but this here, there's a link, what we call a link tree, and I'll explain that in a moment, but allows you to put one link, because Instagram doesn't have multiple links that you can use. Okay, multiple links that you can post in your posting. So who to follow? You should follow people in your industry, your competitors, thought leaders, brands you love, people who inspire you, blog readers, potential customers. All of those people are people that you should be following in your market, right? Why? Well, competitors is the easiest one. Well, you could follow your competitors, and then you can follow. This is what I like to do. You follow the followers of your competitors, right? Doesn't that make sense? Like if you follow the people that are following your competitors, then they would possibly be interested in working with you. Cool. So these are things that you want to make sure you do. I want to go back to the chat here. I got an update to my info on LinkedIn for my business. Glad I've seen this in class. Okay, great, Ebony. That's definitely something you want to make sure to get in motion. Jaminia says my teenagers had to had to school me on Gen Z and the names of the age group. Made me feel old. Understood. Yes. So these are the things you want to make sure you're doing. Following, okay? Putting a hashtag in a specific keyword. Hashtag is essentially a searchable hyperlink in a sense. It makes it searchable within the platform. It allows people to see what you have going on as far as the content. So if I put the hashtag social media training, it's going to get added into all the stuff that's out there on social media training. And if I put the hashtag social media marketing, it's going to get added to all the stuff that says social media marketing. So you want to put the hashtag in front of the word, no spaces in it. And the more hashtags you use, you want to use it wisely, right? You don't want to go overbearing, but you want to use it and put it into your content. And again, this is going to help expose your content to more people, because people actually use hashtags a lot in Instagram and looking up things, right? So those are key. So you can create your own hashtag, right? So you see here, I use my name, and again, it's from an older post, but a hashtag David D. Simons, hashtag Mediapreneur. Use a hashtag for your business, or make a hashtag that correlates that you believe that you're going to pretty much dominate. And this is a great idea for those that have, like I saw some estheticians in here. I think I saw golfing company, right? Like put your own hashtag there, and then showcase your work. Showcase customers. Hey, customer appreciation, right? Put your hashtag in your create your hashtag, and then let people use it as a portfolio to show what you do. Oh, where can I see more about your artwork? Go to hashtag la la la, and then you're able to see it, right? So that's one tip. So when you put this in place, right, you want to make sure that you're going to have a call to action. So you're going to need a system that helps you to do this. And so I use Linktree. Actually, I use Shorby. Linktree is the example I gave you guys, but I use one called Shorby. So I'm going to put them both in the chat, okay, for you guys. So here we go. Okay, we got some Gen Zs in here, huh? Awesome. Good to see that. So this is the service that I'm using in the example, because it's a weird spelling. So I wanted to make sure you got that. All these sites are spelling things weird today. Okay. And then Shorby is the one I use. Okay. So Shorby, I'll tell you why I use it. And this is why you got to come to the next session, because I'm going to explain this in detail. But I use Shorby because it allows me to do tracking on with pixels. So anybody that's come to my site or come to my link in Instagram, I can send them an ad directly and say, hey, thank you for coming to my Instagram profile. If you ever have any questions about digital marketing, let's set up a time to chat, right? So I'm able to do that. So you get the free version of Linktree. It'll allow you to use 3 links. This is what it will look like, right? And so Linktree will allow you. So we know that with Instagram, this is a homework assignment. I'm a teacher. So if you don't have this, put this into your homework for this week. Make sure that you get this set up. If you don't have a link in your Instagram profile, so what you want to do is Linktree will allow you to, because you only get one link on Instagram, and that's the only place. There's no other. You can't, unless you're doing ads. Nobody can go to a link in your post that you put. So driving people to the link in your bio is what you'll want to do. So you say, hey, click the link in my bio, and then that link might be Linktree, and then that Linktree is not, so you're not limited to just your website. You can put different things. Here's like my toolkit. Here's this. Here's that. Right. Now, from a visual standpoint, you don't want to use pixelated stuff. I'm not saying you have to be an expert photographer or any of those things at all. I'm just saying you don't want to be you want to use pixelated stuff. You want to make sure that you're using the right sizes. I like to use 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels. So if you're designing this stuff and you're looking for a place to design your content, you want to use graphics. You can use Canva.com. It's a really good one, and I gave you the size there, 1,000 by 1,000. Consider photographs and how you position. There's a whole, it's called rule of thirds. It breaks it down. You can Google that. Don't have time to go into that, but You make sure that image is aligned with your brand. You want to use filters if you need to keep that consistent, and you can use apps to edit. There's so many different apps. I'm gonna put a few there. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff, but there's a guide that you'll be able to get access to that will allow you guys to get more tools that you can use. Okay, so some people like to put a style to theirs, right? So their whole visual, especially if you got a very visual product or visual brand, or you want to brand yourself, this is great to do. So you're keeping a style for all of the posts that you put up. So these are high quality photos that you can put into your system. Okay, so these are things that you can do. It's just the way you post. So every third post, you know that I'm going to put a quote, and then the rest of them are going to be this. Or every other post, I'm going to put quote, and then a picture of myself, quote, picture, you know, and then, so things like that. Okay, there's all kinds of tools for that. What to put on Instagram? Be true to your brand. Upload photos. I'm big into motivation and things like that nature. So I'm always posting quotes, photos of things that are inspiring. That's just my nature, but do what's true to you and who you are from a personal brand standpoint, from a business standpoint as well. Now I think that you've got a base understanding of everything. I do want to make sure that I give you guys, I promised I would give you a resource that you can take advantage of. So here is that resource. It's free for you. It's called the Social Media Toolkit. And I'm going to explain more about that in the next session. So don't miss that. That was a kind of a baseline. Like I said, we're going to go over the basics today. And then next week, we're really building up. Okay. So hopefully you were able to gain some value from that. Thank you, Carmen. I also want to just give some thank yous. And thank you to Anthony and SBA Capital Management. Thank you to the entire Pathstone team, Dion, Adam, Johaida, and everyone from Pathstone. And I want to thank you all for being here, as well as M&T Bank for sponsoring as well. So what I want to now do is take some Q&A, and you guys can either put in the chat box, or if it's easier, you can just do this organized. So if you have a question, just say I have a question, and then I'll say, hey, so-and-so that has a question, unmute yourself. So we'll answer that, okay? And we'll do that. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay. So who has a question? Let me just switch something here real quick. All right. Just 1 second, guys. All right. Just 1 second. 1 second. All right. All right. So, okay. So question, can you put your business profile out there even if you don't have the structure yet? Yeah, I say so, right? You can put the profile and market, because it takes some time to get all that structured paperwork, right? Just you have the intention of doing, putting the structure to it, right? So just make sure you get all that set as you do it. Because I remember I started my business. I started building the structure of it. I started building the brand of it before I even had the structure. I officially built my structure 2015. So yeah, get the momentum going. Don't let anything hold you back. You want to make sure you do that. Okay. Okay. So let me ask a question. The next question is, let me see here. Dion asked, do you have to have a certain number of followers to create a business LinkedIn profile? Nope. You can start from scratch to create a business LinkedIn profile. You don't need a certain number of followers. You can start right today and go to the business. So you just want to go. It's going to go in your upper right hand corner. It's going to be a section for create a business page. Okay. Thank you for the kind words, Lathanet. Thank you for the kind words, Jaminia. Sandra says, how long does the average person spend on social media per day? Okay, so that's an interesting question. So the stat is for an average American spends 40 minutes a day. I know people that do way more than that, but that's the average American is 40 minutes a day. if we break it down by platform, the average Instagram user, that could be a whole nother level. The average TikTok user, that could be a whole nother level. Okay, so when combining it all in, we all are heavy users of social media. Good question, Sandra. Another question. Ebony said, "Thank you. I got my social media management class about to start. This was very informational for me. Awesome, Ebony. Awesome. Thank you, Sydney. All right. Barbara, which app are you using to get your stats? Also, did you say we can have more than one LinkedIn? No, you can't have more than one link. You can, but you shouldn't have more than one LinkedIn profile. You should have one LinkedIn profile, and you should have one business page to per platform, right? So per business that you have. And which app do I use to get my stats? So there's so many. I read a lot. So there's not a specific app, but I will give you a place that I get a lot of information from. It's called social media. Let me just put this in the chat. MediaExaminer.com. Okay, so yes, Cortina, you're right. That's not much, but you know what numbers and counted into that number is all the pretty much inactive people, because they have to count all the profiles. Everybody's profiles are counted into that stat. So if you took out all the inactive stuff, that number is much higher. But if I had to assume, it'd probably be around 2 hours a day, right? So Dion asked, what are the best times of day to post on social media? So that varies per network. Okay, so let's break down. Let's go to Facebook. Facebook, you want to post this is still something you want to do first. Okay, first there's general rules for that, but then there's also based on your following. Okay, so I want to give the general rules and then based on your following. So the general rule of thumb across the board, and then I'm going to go to the social network specifically, is 9-12-3-6 follows the day. Before 9, I'm maybe getting to work. I want to check out what's going on. 12, lunch break. 3, another break. 6, evening, right? Like I'm home. So it generally that's the rule of thumb, the general perspective. Then there is your audience. So your audience insights. Facebook has a audience insight for your specific business page. You'll probably see that the correlation to somewhere around these times, but they'll probably be different depending on your audience. So you want to base your content posting based on your audience and what times they're on, the number, right? Then you want to go look at that for Instagram. Instagram's going to show you insights on that as well. Facebook and Instagram are the only two platforms that will show you what times your audiences are on the most. So LinkedIn, you want to post in the mornings, early mornings, 8, 9. That's typically when up to 12. Instagram, it tends to be evening, like late at night, believe it or not. Late at night is when you get a lot more engagement than earlier in the day. And then Twitter, you want to mornings and afternoons are good. 8, 9, 3, 4 are good for that. Okay, so I think I covered everything. Yes, there's a system you can use to post. So here's one. Hootsuite.com is one. There's a whole bunch out there. There's bufferapp.com. These are all apps that you can get. There's a whole bunch. And Facebook has its own scheduler, so you can schedule through Facebook for that. But those are the two main ones, Hootsuite, Buffer app. Cool. Yes. Any other, what is a view? Dion asked, a view. Are you, Dion, are you referring to in Facebook or are you referring to where?
Yeah, Facebook. I'm a little bit confused as to what a view means. Does it mean that they actually interacted with the content, or they just saw it as they were scrolling through their timeline, or what constitutes a view?
A view is 3 seconds on Facebook. So anybody that's looked at it for 3 seconds or under, 3 seconds or above is considered a view. So if they spent 3 seconds looking at it, that counts as a view.
What about YouTube? Is a view also that algorithm?
It's different. View for it can pretty much click on it, like they clicked on it, hit play, and I don't know the exact number of seconds for that one, but it's definitely as they've clicked play that they're counted.
Okay, and also in relation to YouTube. And I've forgotten what I was going to ask you. I'm so sorry. I'm having a terrible headache, so I'm struggling this morning. But we had some questions. Adam and I had some questions about this a couple days ago. We were confused as to what a view was. And, so YouTube will give you the number of people who viewed your content. Do they count the same person multiple times? What if I go in and look at the video 10 times? Do they count me in that number 10 times?
No, you're not counted.
Oh, okay. They recognize your IP or something? And
yep.
Okay. Thank you, David.
No problem. I'll tackle Barbara's question and I'll transition it over to Adam, who's got some further updates for you guys. Okay. So Barbara said, what is causing the ads to become specific to me? That it's gotten good. Okay. So here's the interesting thing. They specifically Facebook and Instagram, there's different places where you can put the target and interest, right? So people are able to put their data, people are able to put your, so Barbara, if you like shopping and you like, getting your nails done and getting your hair done, and you live in Rochester and they put the certain categories and they can target to that. And if you like certain things, then they're going to know you like something else and they can target you for that. So, so basically I'm going to show you guys how you guys can do that to other people who could be your potential clients. So don't mix next Thursday. Don't mix next Thursday. I had to remember what the day was. But yeah, thank you all. Over to Adam.
David, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it, and great job. This is so much information. It's and for those of you who, there was a lot of people who asked because there's so much in here, and if you guys have not dealt with social media from a commerce side, from a business side, it can be a bit overwhelming. Just the amount of information you can get and the amount of information that David has given us is great. So we will be sending all of this out. We'll be sending you the slides and be sending you the YouTube video and all that. So you'll have all this information right at your fingertips. The Facebook Live video will also be archived, so you can go back and watch that. Whatever the easiest way for you to redigest this information. It's great. So David, thank you so much for this presentation and this information. And I know we are all looking forward to next week and seeing how we can apply this information and continue to grow our business from this. So I want to give you guys a few updates before we let you get out of here. Just a couple of reminders that we do have that next week David's going to be back Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, 12 o'clock right here on Zoom till 1:30, and we're going to be doing another round of social media. And Monday of next week is Next Level, and Next Level is for those of you who graduated boot camp or if you've been in business for a year. And actually, Mike McCarley teaches that, and Mr. McCarley is on the call with us right now. And I told him I was going to give him 60 seconds to make his pitch for the Next Level. So, Mr. McCarley, I'm going to give you the floor for 60 seconds.
Thank you very much, Adam. Hello, everybody. Again, great presentation on the Tech Talk. Thanks again very much, David. For those, again, we're moving to the next level. We're actually going to start talking about your story. Not a long story, a short story, but it's enormously important with regard to creating the connection between those individuals is a part of your network, whether it's for sales, professional, or other. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday.
Wonderful. I was just going over next week's information with Mr. McCarley this morning, so I'm excited. I'm excited to be in these classes too, guys. So I'm excited to be right along with you as a student and as a classmate. So yeah, I'm excited for next Monday. So if you want to register for that, we'll be sending out that link in our follow-up email. And then we also have our small business forums coming up, restarting October 2nd. Like I told you guys at the beginning of this, October 2nd, small business forum is going to start. That's an hour long, and we will be the first one. We're going to talk about starting a nonprofit, running a nonprofit, managing it, working with a board, finding funding, and we will have experts to present, and then also take your questions. We have found that having a much more open dialogue during the small business forums seems to be a great formula for success. So there's a lot of engagement, a lot of back and forth conversation in those. So that's please come to that. Again, all of these are free, and thank you to our sponsors who allow us to do this stuff for free, including today's sponsor, which is M&T Bank. They allow us to put on Tech Talks and to bring this to you guys free of charge and to educate you. And our other, before I get to the food, I want to talk about our other partner and give Anthony at Spa Capital Management a chance to say goodbye and to give you guys a pitch for next week. So Anthony, I'm going to let you kind of come in and say hey to the folks and convince them to, which I don't think they need much convincing, but tell them to come back next week.
Again, yeah, thank you to everyone. Thank you again, David. That was an awesome presentation. Again, my journey in this is just to help just feed some good content to you guys to make sure that it's relevant and it's actually, you can implement it into your business. So definitely check out next week, Thursday, 24th. He's gonna run through some advertising and some behind the scenes on some of these platforms. So definitely stay tuned. And thank you to everyone who's stayed committed to TED Talks and stay committed to all of the programming that Path don't have. So see y'all then.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. And now let's talk about food. So we'll wrap this up. You guys know the drill. We can't get together in person yet, but we do want to bring some kind of fellowship and have lunch be on us this week. So for those of you who are looking to dine in Buffalo, we have Sunshine Vegan Eats and Freddie J's Barbecue. Those are both fantastic choices. So if whichever one you want, put down in the chat box, and we'll make sure we get that and get those vouchers out to you, so you guys can get a meal from Freddie J's or Sunshine Vegan Eats. For those of you looking to eat over in Rochester, we have El Pilon Criollo and the Arnett Cafe. Those are the options in Rochester. So whichever one you guys want, put it in the chat. For those of you who are new, we do this every week. So that's one reason to come back is free lunch. So go ahead and tell us in the chat who you want, where you want to eat. We will make sure to get those vouchers out to you very soon in the next few days, so you guys can eat out and you can go pick your food up and be safe and all that. But we want to thank you for joining us. And as we get out of here, I want to thank you guys again for being part of this and for being so attentive and engaging. These sessions, you guys make these sessions successful. It's your engagement and your attention that really makes these things worth it. So thank you for allowing us to do this. Thank you for being part of it. And we are ready to say goodbye and wrap it up. Only a couple minutes over, so I'm not going to talk too much longer. But thanks, guys, so much. If you have any questions about the content you received, you know how to reach out to us. Respond to those emails from us, and we will get with you. And if there's nothing else, we will see you next week, Thursday at 12, from 12 to 1:30 for Social Media with David Simons. Again, thank you so much, guys.